you guys can clap it up, my brother, Matthew Cruz.
Appreciate you, bro. Thank you. I'll take this. How y'all feeling?
Good.
Ace said a lot of great things about me, and they're true. Nah, on a serious note, I want to give credit back to Ace because he's like one of the most hardworking, consistent, has gotten amazing results, has helped a lot of people. So let's clap it up for Ace one time really quick. So for my part, I'm going to be talking about day trading. I'm going to be talking about how I got started doing it 7 years ago. No experience, no community, no in-person events to actually show you how to do it. And how you can, we'll go over some basics, we'll go over some advanced. I know we got some mixed people in the room. If you have no idea, don't know anything at all about trading at all, can I see your hand? I'm just curious. All right, cool. Maybe a good percentage. All right, well, if you feel like you're pretty advanced, I'd love to see your hand as well. All right, we got a handful of people too. Cool. Awesome. So real quick, just to share with you guys my experience before anything. Like Ace was saying, my name is Matthew Cruz. I'm a business owner and investor, and I grew up here in Washington. I have about a decade of experience when it comes to entrepreneurship and when it comes to trading, about 7 years. Before this entire industry, I was just going to school, going to college. I was playing soccer. I played soccer forever. That was my original goal. That was my original dream. I always knew that I wanted to do something where I can make a lot of money, live a certain type of lifestyle. I didn't see myself clocking in and clocking out at a regular job forever. And who here feels like they were created to do something more than they're doing currently, something bigger? Yes, that was me. I was like, yo, there's something inside of me that's saying like, yo, like, I got to do something more. And in 2018, I went to my first event. Unfortunately, it wasn't in Washington, so I had to fly from Seattle to Arizona to see something like this. There's probably about 500 people in that room. I'm 29, time flies. I was 22 at that time, so 22 years old, broke college student, go to this event, and seeing other people who were older having success was amazing, but also people at that time in their 20s and their 30s that had financial freedom, that were able to do, you know, what they want, when they want, where they want, with whoever it is that they want. In my mind, that wasn't really a reality for people who were younger, especially. And so seeing was believing for me at that event. I said, hey, if they could do it, I could do it too. I hope you look at Ace and myself and some of the other people that you're going to hear speak later and say, yo, if these guys could do it, I could definitely do it as well. So anyways, I made that decision to go all in. Fast forward to 2025. I went from, last job that I had was, who here's been to South Center Mall? Everybody. That's a rhetorical question. Everyone here's been. The last job I had was working as a valet parking cars at the mall. That's what I was doing. Yeah, maybe I parked your car. Who knows? It's possible. You know, from doing that to creating multiple sources of income through this, traveling to not just around the US, but 25 plus countries for me, which is insane. And being able to teach thousands of people in person, God knows how many online. And I only say that because I can guarantee you if you saw where I got started, it was in a worse position than like 90% of people in this room. And if it's possible for me, it's possible for anybody here if you have desire, if you have coachability, if you have a strong work ethic, then this can absolutely change everything. So I'm going to jump into some of the information. If y'all are ready, say aye. Aye. Perfect, let's do it. So I am going to show you guys some charts and stuff. What I wanted to do is, let me ask you guys a question. I'm going to need a little bit of engagement for this one, but what were you hoping to learn from today is my question to you. I can come up here and tell you guys a bunch of random stuff that I think would be helpful, or I could ask you guys what you guys were hoping to learn from this event. So for example, maybe you came to learn the basics of trading. Maybe you came to learn the terminology. We're talking about trading right now, by the way. Maybe you wanted to learn technical analysis. It's a fancy word for patterns. There's certain patterns on the chart. Let me know. I want to take a couple of answers from a couple people. Yes?
Network marketing.
Okay, cool. Trading right now, though. Trading right now.
Oh, my apologies.
Yeah, my bad. No, we're talking about trading right now. Leanne's going to actually talk about that later. She's going to break it down. But Trading-wise, anything specific? Go ahead.
Technical analysis.
Technical analysis. Okay, we'll do that. I'm gonna write this down. I can't remember all this stuff. I wish I was, as smart as like Ace, but I gotta write stuff down. So, technical analysis. Yeah?
Why should we trade it?
Why not? I'll cover that. Anything else? Yeah.
Another lifestyle.
Huh?
Another lifestyle.
Another lifestyle. You want to learn, but.
Why trading? Is another lifestyle.
Oh, okay, cool. Yes, absolutely, 100%, absolutely. Go ahead.
What steps or like what things in an hour to do compared to an hour? Someone said an hour.
Say again.
Someone here said like if you had 1 hour.
Uh-huh.
Okay, like what to do?
What you would do with that hour? Okay, cool. Like, we'll call it. I want to phrase it right. What do you think? All right, we'll just call it DMOs. So there's something called DMOs, which is like daily methods of operation, which is like what you should be doing on a daily basis to be successful. So that's cool. Yeah.
Trading and weekly trading, what is the difference?
Perfect.
What is the advantage?
Different styles of trading. How about that? Because there's okay. I'll take two more.
Does psychology trade?
That's the best question so far. Okay. Anything else? Yeah?
Making a group. That's like in order to be successful trading, we need a group.
Say what?
A group. We need a group, right? As a successful traders, we need a kind of group. So which is going to be like
Community.
fight with other traders, right? That's the basic of trading. You're going to fight with other traders. So having a group is going to be the ultimate to be an effective trader. So making a group.
Okay, so I am going to do some, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to cover the basics of trading because we have some people that are new. And then I'm going to go from basics. I'm going to end in like technical analysis, which is like how to read the charts. And then throughout there, I'm going to try to hit every single one of these points. Sound fair?
Yes.
All right, cool. Let's do it. So let's start with the psychology because this is actually the most important part. We're going to start here first, actually. 80%, people are like, yo, how do I read the chart? How do I read the chart? I know some people that are very, very good at reading charts that are extremely exceptional when it comes to technical analysis and recognizing patterns. But 80% of your success is going to be the psychology. And when I say the psychology, what I mean is fear and greed mess more people up than anything else. Those are the two barriers to success because you can read the charts, but as soon as you get greedy, there's something called over-leveraging, which is when you take a trade too big for your account and then you end up blowing your account or making a lot of money and then that reinforces your bad habit and then you do it again and then you blow your account. So over-leveraging is like taking trades too big for your account size, right? And then there's revenge trading. Revenge trading is, oh, I took a loss, let me make that money back, and then you actually dig yourself into a deeper hole. These are the psychological traps when it comes to day trading. So we're going to go over the charts and everything, but I'm telling you, fear and greed mess more people up than anything else. There's also FOMO, fear of missing out. Maybe you see other people in profit, and then you're like, get in the trade late, and then you end up losing. Or maybe fear as in you have the perfect trade, but you're scared to take it, and then you miss out on profits that you should have made. This is the hard part. That is the hardest part. So we'll talk about like the actual how-tos, but understand trading is a personal development journey with compensation attached to it. Meaning like you're going to have to work on you more than anything else. You're going to have to like get better in terms of overcoming your fear, overcoming your greed, becoming a better version of yourself. And it's going to teach you a lot about yourself that you didn't know in the first place. And that's one of the best reasons. Yeah, you can come in here and make a lot of money over time, but the best part is the discipline that you build and the person that you become in the process. So let's talk about, let's hop on the charts. So this is TradingView. TradingView is a free website where you can mark up charts. So if you see people posting charts, or we have educators within our community posting charts, 9 times out of 10, that's from TradingView. You can go and create a free account on TradingView and then see what I'm seeing. In fact, I'm going to give you guys a list of things that you're going to need to start. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right, cool. TradingView. You're going to need a trading platform. So we use TradeLocker. A lot of people use MetaTrader. MetaTrader's fine. I just prefer TradeLocker because it's just a little bit more newer, we'll put it that way. So you need a trading, like where are you going to act? You don't trade on here, you can, but you're very limited with the brokers that you could use. So we use TradeLocker, which is like when I want to press buy and sell, you go to TradeLocker. Number 3 is you're going to need a broker. A broker is like your trading account, where your money goes to be traded. I use Osprey. There's a million different brokers out there. It doesn't really matter. But once you create a broker on Osprey or whatever, then it'll give you a login for TradeLocker, and then now your trading account is linked to your trading platform, and you can start trading. So those are the main things that you're going to need initially, off the top of my head. And then from there, let's see. So let's start with the basics, guys. So we have, now that we have TradingView, y'all could set up a free account later. Next thing is, what asset are you trading? We'll just put asset question mark. So we have people in this room that specialize in trading currencies, indices, commodities. My favorite asset to trade is gold. This is gold, by the way. We're looking at a chart of gold. It doesn't matter what you're trading, but each asset has its own personality. Meaning it like moves a certain amount of points at certain times. So less is more. Like there are people that are making a full-time income, 6-figure income, 7-figure income off of just trading one thing. You don't have to master everything. But yeah, so what asset are you trading? Then the next thing that you're going to need to learn is candles. We're doing terminology 101 right here. Candles equals price and time. So right now, by the way, the markets are closed. Unless you're trading crypto, crypto's 24/7. If not, the markets are closed Friday at 2 p.m. and then they reopen Sunday at 2 p.m. So there's no movement happening on these charts right now. But we're on the 1-hour chart, and let me explain it like this. Where's my clicker? Let me explain it like this. So candles, these are called candlesticks. When you see a green candle, that's the price of gold going up. When you see red candles, that's the price of gold going down. You can make money either direction, as Ace said earlier. That's the best part of trading, is if the market's going up, amazing. If everything's falling, amazing. You could short the market and profit off of those movements as well. Candles equals price, meaning right now you can see the price of gold is $3,084. This is the current price. In fact, this is the all-time high. Gold has never, ever been higher than it is at this current moment, which is crazy fact. But yeah, so you're looking at the price going up and going down, and you're also looking at time, meaning if we're on the 1-hour chart, each candle represents 1 hour. So but like the last 3 hours before the market closed, right now it's closed, nothing's moving, but the last 3 hours the market went up from wherever to where it is now. Does that make a little bit of sense? Yes? Okay, cool. So that's all you're looking at. People look at the chart, they're like, yo, is this like some kind of, do I have to be good at math to do this? I'm the only Asian that I know that's ever failed a math class. This is a true story. What's up?
They always talk about candles going up and down, right?
Yeah.
And then they go down, you also win.
Yeah.
Then they never leave out. It's like the toothpicks, you know?
I don't know. Wait, what?
It's like
Oh, the wicks?
the wicks, yeah.
Well, I'll talk about wicks. I got you. But yeah, candles equals, so yeah, you're just looking at the price and the time, and these prices are constantly fluctuating because of news and because you're going to turn the lights off? That's fine. Let's see if it looks a little bit better. All right. So now the next thing that you need to learn is pips. Pips, I'm going to simplify pips or points. So for example, the last 3 hours, the price of gold went up about 100 pips, 100 points. Before that, the market dropped for about 77 points. So the amount of money you make depends on how many points did the market go in my direction and what is my lot size. We're going to simplify it even more, and we're going to say your lot size equals your trade size. So for example, let's say I knew the market was going to go up here, and I got in for a buy position, and the market went up for, you move the decimal over one. Does this look better or worse? Okay, cool. All right, so yeah, 90, if I got in for a buy and the market, let's say I caught the entire move right here. Let's say I got in for a buy before the market closed, and it went up for about 100 points. You move the decimal over one, so this is 100 points. The amount of money you make depends on how many points, in this case 100, and then also what was your lot size, aka your trade size. So the smallest trade size possible is 10 cents per point, so you would have made $10. So if you started trading with $100, a couple $100, maybe you made $10. If you're doing 20 cents per point, you would have made $20. If you had more capital and more experience, if you did $1 per point on that same movement, you could have made $100. If you're doing $10 per point times 100 points, that's 1,000 that you made off the same movement. So people be like making a couple dollars at first, and they're like, "Yo, I'm only making a couple dollars." I'm like, "You don't get it. Once you compound your account, the same skill to make $100 is the same to make 1,000 in a couple hours or in a couple minutes for some people who are scalping." So we could talk about, there's different styles of traders. Scalpers, they're in and out of the market for minutes. These are more aggressive people. It's a personality thing. There's no right or wrong. It's whatever works best for you. There's intraday trading. Your trades last within a day. I typically am doing intraday trading. My trades last within a day. And then there's swing trading, if you're holding trades for days or weeks. And then there's position trading, which is months. And honestly, there's no right or wrong. It's just a matter of what works best for you and your personality. For me, I do intraday trading just because it's the easiest for me. If scalping was easier for me, then I would scalp. If position trading was easier for me, then I do position trading. It's just a matter of what works best for me, and there's not a right or a wrong. There's a lot of different ways to become profitable. All right, so it's the same thing when the market drops. So I actually was on a trading call about a week ago, and I told people as soon as the market gets to this level to short the market. So we had a lot of people in our community actually take this trade, and gold actually dropped for 250 pips, 250 points. How much money is that? Again, you could have made $25, $250, $2,500. It just depends on your lot size, your trade size that you choose before you place the trade. These movements are happening every single day. This specific one, we're on the hour chart. So this played out in a couple of hours within the same day. So your goal is to compound your account. Your goal is not to get rich quick. Your goal is to, if I make 5% a month, 10% a month, 20%, if I can compound my account, I can grow my wealth, and that is the goal. You see people talking about these crazy returns. What did Warren Buffett do last year? Does anyone know? Someone help me. Does anyone know? I think he did 20 to 30% last year. We're talking about Warren Buffett. So if you can make 5% a month, then you're doing very, very good. You see stuff online, on Instagram, on social media, it's just fake. It's just not real because they're trying to do manipulation marketing and they're trying to sell their course or whatever. But in reality, if you're making 5%, 10% on a monthly basis, maybe, you know what's crazy? We have an app called Blaze. We're going to show you this later. But Blaze is our copy trading app where we're sending trades to you from our top 5 traders. They averaged in 2024 20% on a monthly basis if you copied every single one of their trades just from copy trading. So that is a huge, huge tool as well. So what are you trading? What asset? You could trade currencies, commodities, indices, candles, price and time, pips, points, lot size, trade size. There's a lot of terminology in the beginning, and you have to be willing to take a leap of faith and not know anything. Yeah. Because people are like, yo, I want to be a master overnight. No, getting started is going to be one of the hardest parts. But once you know what you're looking for, it's crazy. It's like I don't even have to mark up the chart. I just have a good idea of which direction it's going to go. Take your trade, make whatever you make for the day, and then you're good to go. When you take a trade, you need your entry, your stop loss, and your take profit. When you take a trade, it's 3 numbers: entry, stop loss, take profit. So where you're getting in, your stop loss is your safety net in case the trade goes the wrong way, and then your take profit is your target, where you see the market going. So for example, I actually called this right here is called a break and retest pattern. You can see how the market came here. You have a ceiling, ceiling, ceiling. Price broke above the ceiling and the ceiling became a floor, and you can actually buy off that. I actually called this buy as well. And so let's say that hypothetically you actually bought right here. So you need your entry, which is a price over here. Your stop loss would be your safety net, would go below this low. I only do 1% risk per trade. I can never lose more than 1% because you choose your risk before you place the trade. And then your target, where you see the market going. Let's say that you collected, let's just say just this little movement from here to here. Let's say you didn't even catch this entire move. This would have been 100 pips. Again, that could be $10, $100, $1,000. But imagine you don't even know necessarily what you're doing or why you're doing it, but you have these trades sent to you and you copy the entries, the stop loss, the take profit, and you start copying other people's trades and you're profiting while you're actually learning how to actually do it yourself. That's the goal. So with that being said, what else did I miss so far? Okay, cool. We're going to talk about technical analysis and then DMOs and then community, and then I'm done. So technical analysis. There are certain patterns that happen on the chart over and over and over. And for me, let me tell you why I took this trade. And that'll give you like technical analysis 101. So number one, okay, so the more confirmations that you have, the higher probability of the trade. A confirmation is just a reason why you took the trade. It's like there's patterns. So there's five or six reasons why I took this trade. So number one was this, this is going to be confusing if you're brand new. So if you're brand new, don't worry about it. All right, so I started on the daily time frame. So I seen that the last 4 days price was going up. So I'm already thinking bullish. I'm already thinking bullish means buy, like looking for buys. So the bigger time frames are for direction. The smaller time frames are for precision when it comes to entries. So I looked at the daily. I said, okay, the last couple days are bullish. Let me zoom in. Then I looked for market structure, and I seen that the market was making higher highs and higher lows on the 4 hour, which is another bullish confirmation. I'm looking for buys. I'm already looking for buys in this environment. Now I'm scaling in. Remember, the bigger time frames are for direction. The smaller time frames are for precision. And so then, now that I know I'm looking for a buy, then I got to get a good entry. And so price was consolidating, meaning going sideways. And then it broke and then retested. This ceiling became a floor. That was one confirmation. On top of the direction, on top of what time was this? This happened right during London session. There's certain best times to trade. London session is very, very good. The New York session is also, it's my personal favorite, is the New York session, which is in the morning. And different currencies move at different times. So that's my third confirmation, was the timing. Fourth confirmation would be the fact that this was a whole number. So every 100 points, for those of you who are already trading, I have a chart that marked up. I marked up every 100 points on gold, and it looks like price is playing ping pong off these levels. It looks like I marked up support and resistance, but I didn't. These are literally just every 100 pips marked up, and these are key levels for entries and exits. I use this. So this was right on a whole number as well. The whole number of 3030. So that's another confirmation. And then lastly, price action, which is candlestick patterns. So for example, long wicks, like you were talking about, right? So This doesn't work on all currencies, but it works very, very well on gold. Every time price comes down and then makes a long wick, oftentimes it'll reverse. And then it'll come up. I call this a vector. It's 3 wicks to one side and then shoots down. You can see long wick and then price shoots up. Long wicks and then price shoots down. Long wicks and then price shoots up. Long wick and then price shoots down. So right here, made a long wick. It actually made a doji candle. So there's patterns on all the candles, like together, and then individually these candles make patterns too by themselves. And yeah, so that was like my 5, 6 confirmations. Take the trade. You're going to win this 7 out of 10 times. So that is like technical analysis 101 for people that have been trading for a while. If you're brand new, don't even worry about that. All you need to know is, when do I press the button? Buy? Okay, buy. All right, cool. You figure out why you're buying later on. And then lastly, we have what? We have, let me see. Lastly, we have, in terms of DMOs, if I had an hour a day only, we have live sessions. I would hop on with somebody like, let's just say, Mike. He's one of our educators in our community. There's a website called DarwinX, which actually ranks traders. This is not like me saying this, but last year there was a couple months where he was #1, not in our community, but in the world for day trading. He's in our community. He goes live 4 times a week. He's helped over 100 people hit a 6-figure level or above trading. If I had an hour a day, I would hop on his live sessions for 1 hour a day where he's doing live trading and live training. Live trading meaning you can literally copy his trades, and if he makes 1%, 2%, 5%, so do you. Live training meaning he's explaining why he's doing what he's doing, so you could actually become self-sufficient in the market and master the skill yourself. Go ahead. Yeah. Huh? This? It's called Go Live. We're going to talk about this more too. Yep. And then, or you could hop on with Jay Awal. Jay Awal, he has a strategy called Trend Trap. This has helped thousands of people become profitable. It's very simple. There's no easy way to trade, but this is like the easiest thing to learn if you're a brand new person. So if I had an hour a day, that would be enough for me to learn, to grow, to get amazing results, not overnight, but over time. Yeah.
Back to the technical analysis.
Mm-hmm.
You were looking at how the wicks.
Yeah.
The first one was going.
This one?
Yeah, that one was right there, right?
Yeah.
So it went up.
Yep.
And the next one was pointing up.
Yep.
So it shot down.
Correct.
But you were analyzing all that, and how did you realize that it was just, you would have to.
So that's just one confirmation. So I would never like look at the wicks by itself and say, oh, I'm going to buy or sell just because of the wicks. But like for this example, there was like a long wick right here, but there was also like all the other things, all the other confirmations with it as well. Does that make sense or no?
It's kind of confusing because you're like, you've drawn all those.
So basically what I was trying to say with the wicks is, this is price shooting up and then shooting down very quickly is basically what a wick is. And it's rejecting from that area, and oftentimes it'll just go in the other direction. That's all you need to know.
And then you're kind of like.
And then you're going to want to trade with that momentum.
Because it's not going up or down much now.
Yeah, this is kind of sideways. This is sideways, but yeah. So that's one confirmation.
And then you determine if you buy or sell by the longer history, or how does that work?
Yeah, so you're looking at certain. The thing is basically you're just looking at multiple different patterns. So yeah, you're looking back in history. So for example,
before you even start marking them.
Yeah, so right now, let's look at price right now. Price right now is right here. Right now, I could see, I'm just telling you what I see. And the only reason I see this is because I've been doing this for 7 years, and it's not going to make sense like right now. So don't expect it to. Go ahead.
Do you think it might help everybody that's visual learners to do a replay trade, just so they can see what it does?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, let's do that. All right, so check this out. So you can actually back test. This is the best thing you could do, which is go backwards in time and then see what the chart looked like at that time. So this is what the chart looked like. I looked on the daily time frame and the 4-hour time frame, And remember, I was looking for buys. And then I zoomed in on the 1 hour. So I'm already thinking buy. That's how I got to the 1 hour in the first place. And then now, when I look for buys, I always wait for a break and retest. So I marked up the next zone, which was this zone, and I waited for the price to break and then retest. That's what I was waiting for. And then eventually, these are hours. Eventually, price retested, and that's where we entered.
So to break the sideways.
Yes.
Exactly. We're waiting for it to break the sideways movement. Yes. So the market is either going up, uptrend, higher highs, higher lows, or consolidating, or making lower lows and lower highs. And if it's consolidating, you just kind of wait for it to break out in either direction. So this was like a consolidation right here. But other than that, did I answer every question? I think I did. So community, this is the last thing, because we have other speakers that I need to pass this to. And community. For me, this is one of the hardest skills that you could learn, let alone by yourself. And the reason why having a community is so important is because, number one, accountability. People are usually more accountable to other people than they are themselves. That's why people need a personal trainer, even though they know they need to go to the gym and eat healthy. They know it's easy, they know what to do, but they need someone to tell you, don't eat the burger, right? Accountability. Number two is support, having a good group of people around you to help you. And then number three is just the power of association in general, meaning like whoever you surround yourself with, you become. And most people, I don't know about you, maybe you grew up in an environment where your parents were millionaires and they were happy and they were healthy and they were wealthy, or your average person, that's just not realistic. Most people are just born in environments that are just not necessarily around the best people. So when you have people that are around you that are better than you in different areas, you have no choice but to level up.